Results. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and if you're catching this evergreen recorded, well, you're catching the past tense, but you want to catch up and get to future speed, and you want to be better, bolder, more magical, make more money, save money, and make your life easy. Well, you got to stop being a dope when it comes to spinal injuries. And I brought the foremost expert, the preeminent expert in here, Dr. Jeffrey Kronk, who's going to lead the way and share some awesome stuff with us today. Dude, you are the gold mine when it comes to not just personal injury, not just auto injury, but spinal injuries. And this is what you've opened my mind to, is that it's such a bigger bucket than we ever thought. And you're the OG, man. I'm going to let you take it away.
Hey, well, first of all, Tristan, thanks for letting me do this. I mean, I know there's a lot of doctors out there that have confusion on the personal injury side of their practices. It's the most lucrative side. It's the largest area in all of healthcare. It's the easiest practice to build. I've done it a lot. So I appreciate you kind of letting me go through a little bit of a presentation of what we do, because I have a Smart Injury Doctors Practice Building Success System. That's where I help doctors basically grow the personal injury side with real predictive precision.
Yep.
When you have a system, you can start to you can produce predictable growth. You'll see on the charts there, I'm not only interested in clinic revenue for the doctors, but also patient outcomes, patient improvement. That's why it aligns so much with chiropractic results, is because the easiest business to grow is the business that gets results, and people that publish their results are going to be way ahead of anybody else. I just put together like a 3-minute video to kind of give you an idea of what we do without me telling you what we do.
We've been members of Smart Injury Doctors for about a month and a half. And I can honestly say that in this month and a half, we probably done more to grow our personal injury practice than in the last 10 years.
I looked at the program. I pretty much immediately knew it was a no-brainer, that this is exactly what I needed to be able to fill in all these gaps that we had. It's just a very comprehensive program that we plugged into place. It's worked phenomenally for our practice.
I had another discovery call with you. And, if you remember correctly, I said, look, Dr. Kronk, I'm not here for your fluff. I want you to be a straight shooter with me, which you were. And you're like, look, I'm going to take you to point A to point Z. And now we're here.
Say the ROI from your program to connecting to the attorneys and the referrals is easily $100 a month.
Over time now, I've built up a good relationship with really just like 5 or 6 different attorneys, but it's really paid off. 2 of them love us. They send us every single Carson case that they get. They send them to us first. They want us to basically quarterback their cases for them. So it's gone really well.
Yeah. So when I first started, I think the first month after doing that, I had 10 referrals into my office from one attorney group. And then I did another presentation and I got 5 more. There was 1 month recently, because I've been doing this a little while. There was 1 month where I had like 17 referrals in 2 weeks.
And the attorneys that specialize in personal injury have just been blown away by the information that we're giving them. And
I'll be frank and honest, when I first was looking at the program, I didn't understand what the program was going to teach me, so I was apprehensive to pay the money. I took a leap of faith. I did, and we look back on things we wish we would have done sooner, or maybe done all together. This is one of the things I wish I would have known about this 10 or 15 years ago, because it would have made my life that much more easier up to this point. But
did a few, maybe 2, maybe 3 attorney presentations, but one in particular, I think it was the first one we gave. I got 14 referrals from it in 6 weeks.
40 auto cases, and I have not had a case paid below 90%. And it's all due to what Dr. Kronk teaches.
I've got posters up now on personal injury. So I'm doing some internal marketing. And that, since I started that, we've probably gotten 12 new patients for personal injury pretty quick.
I say if you're interested in all treating injury patients, that you reach out to Dr. Jeffrey Kronk. He will help you actually implement it from the beginning to the end. Easy, peasy.
I would say it's doubled my practice revenue wise, but not visit wise. Because when you're doing personal injury, obviously they pay better than major med or cash.
Thank you to the whole team of Smart Injury Doctors. That's the best investment we've done in a long time. Thank you.
So what I want to do, Tristan, for your group is I just spliced that together today to just kind of give you a feel. Like I could do hours of those, and in all different areas, depositions, med legal work, the simplicity of the notes, the simplicity of the documentation, the simplicity of the communication with insurers. We don't have enough time. Now, for your viewers, I've also written a book at the end. I'll show you how you can get a copy of my book for free, Producing Today's Spinal Injury Experts. I'm kind of on a personal mission, and that personal mission is to standardize spinal injuries to reduce down the chronic pain in the market today. As chiropractors, we're positioned very well to take advantage of it, but most doctors don't know how to take advantage of it. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So, look, I didn't start out with this, AI generated beautiful book picture, bald head, although I was bald. You can see I was getting bald early. I started out just like everybody else did. I graduated in 1988 and I went, okay, what do I need to do as a chiropractor? What is this really all about? And then I became good in clinic, and I struggled a lot, to be honest. And I also had a lot of successes, but my successes came once I hired somebody, a coach or a mentor, to assist me in the directions that I wanted to go. When I wanted to actually know how to rehabilitate spines, I mentored with Burl Pettibon, and I wanted to become one of the top people in the country, in the world actually, that could rehab a spine. My outcome assessment procedures and my documentation procedures, I had many mentors. So I've gone through it a lot. The one thing I was talking to you about, Tristan, on a previous call or whatnot, is that no matter what you call the entity that you're treating, and I'm assuming that most of the doctors in your tribe will say a subluxation, or at least use the term, the foundation of all of chiropractic is trauma. So the more you understand trauma, the more you understand what you do as a chiropractor, but the more you understand trauma, and you can have somebody that shows you the trauma market. The trauma market is the largest market in all of healthcare. There's not a larger market, and there's not a more lucrative market. And when I say lucrative, I don't mean just financially lucrative. I mean emotionally lucrative. I mean professionally lucrative. Whatever your goals are, emotionally, what do you want to have? You want to have a clinic that you can attract people that are going to do really well under your care, so they go, oh my gosh, doctor, this is so great. That's very emotionally fulfilling to help people. And you want to be able to help a lot of people. Financially, if you can do that, financially, this is the best area to do that. And then professionally, it's very easy to grow because there's a niche in the personal injury market that I show doctors how to take advantage of. So in the personal injury market, the stats are off the charts. So if I go to chiropractic results, and we're into results, look at what the years and years of research say is the current market results. It's not good. Spinal injuries cause the first, fourth, and sixth leading cause of chronic pain and disability in the market today. There is no larger market. It's a very expensive market. So if you look at the American Pain Society, is going to say, hey, if you got chronic low back pain, it's going to cost us $9,000 to $19,000 to medically manage you. There's not a chiropractor in the country that couldn't manage somebody for less than that and have better results. Migraine headaches, 8,900 more per year, 10 years, 89,000 to manage this, right? So when I say this is the largest market, one of the things about, I was drilled, Tristan, in my athletic days is, success is when preparation meets opportunity. And that was another way of saying, you got to practice a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is why you're practicing. And boy, when you find, there's a lie in that. And I'm going to tell you the lie right now. Without preparation, you can't see the opportunity, let alone take advantage of it. So in order to get the opportunity, you have to prepare so you can see it in the first place. Once you see it, then you can take advantage of it. Then success is possible. So when you're preparing, and that's what I do, I prepare doctors, and it's like, okay, I know you don't see this market. When we go back to that slide, it's like the home injury market is 5 times the size of the auto injury market, but most they don't even know what to look for. They don't know that opportunity or how to take advantage of it. So the injury market is large. In the personal injury market, there's two sides to the market. There's the bloody red ocean, bloody red sea. That's where everybody's a commodity. You're going to get your bills cut. You're not the quarterback. Do the care at the direction of the attorney, and all the various things that everyone hates in the market and I hate in the market. Okay, that's not, yes, if you're going to do injury work, you're going to be in this market. But what I do is I show doctors a different market, a market where you don't have any competition, where you can increase your professionalism. You want to advance your professional career. Oh my gosh. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, which you'll become more self-evident as I go. So what you want to be is in a market where you don't have much competition, especially you want to have something that's unique. So Tristan, when I used to do a lot of seminars, I'd have 100 chiropractors in the room and I'd say, okay, I got an attorney group. They're looking for a practice in your area. They could probably send anywhere from 3 to 7 new injury patients a month to your practice. And I would just go in the front row and I'd say, okay, why should they send them to you? And say, well, because, we take really good care of the patient. We have a really friendly office. We're bilingual. Our notes are good. It's like, okay, great. How about you? Geez, I don't know. That guy just said everything I was going to. Right? Nothing to stand out. Now, the reason why you don't stand out is because you don't know the problems that they have and the solutions that you can provide. So if I went out I did a chiropractic talk and I want to get new patients and I talked to 100 people, but I don't know that 50 of them suffer from chronic headaches and I never mentioned headaches that night, my talk is not going to be nearly as good as if I relate to their problem, even though they haven't spoken it to me. So what I'm good at is I've been doing this a really long time. So I know the problems that the attorneys have. I know the problems that the surgeons have, the pain management specialists, the orthopedists, the physical therapist. I know the problems that they have, and I can show you the problems that you solve for them. So that when you present in a way they don't forget it. And you're now starting to persuade people who prior to that would never really give you the time of day to even listen to you. And then you preserve those relationships so they become active relationships. So I do that, and I'm going to go very quick today, quicker than what I normally would, but there's 4 parts to our system, and each one is a system within a broader system. One, in the system of the doctor training, you're in a med legal. If you want PI, you're in med legal. So I need to train you so that you're really good with med legal and your documentation, and it's way simpler than what you think. This is 6 hours of training right here. It's all done online. While I'm training you, you won't realize that I'm deposition training you, even though I'm clinically training you. When I'm showing you guidelines and I'm showing you how you don't have to defend anything, because I'm going to show you how much the market actually currently validates what you do. It validates what you do way better than our profession or you yourself validate yourself. There's a market that is so validative and it so aligns. So that's what I show. Now, the other thing I do is I'm teaching you the documentation. And when I'm teaching you the documentation, I'm teaching you the problems that you're going to solve for the attorneys, even though you don't know it. So when I'm teaching you, because when I get to marketing now, or I get to internal marketing, or I get to follow-up, you're going to go, oh, now I know what this stuff he was teaching me in clinic is really helpful out here. So the other thing I'm teaching you is how to solve the biggest problems in the med legal process, things like pre-existing conditions. And so what I have a knack at doing, and it took me a long time to develop this knack, and I don't even know if I'm good at it, is because I've done it so long, and because I've solved a lot of problems, I've simplified things and made it very simple. When you struggle with a problem, it's always a problem because you don't understand all the points. But as soon as you solve it, it becomes very simple. Mm-hmm. And so anybody that's still very complex with their procedures has not solved the problem yet. Spinal injury market is the easiest documentation market there is. I could play videos of you of doctors saying, "Oh my God, when we first came in, our notes were terrible, and we realized that all of it was fluff, and now our notes are like, so simple, and the attorneys are saying, "Oh my God, I love this." Well, why? Because it's simple. So in the first part, I got to train the doctor. Now, when I train the doctor, I'm going to train you on what the market says about these injuries. Most doctors will be shocked. If I told you that in your spinal injury practice and even your chronic pain practice, you are regularly stabilizing people that are qualified for spinal fusion surgery under spinal fusion surgery guidelines, you're going to go, what? And then you're going to go, well, is that kind of validative? One side says this person has a condition that the only way we can solve it is to surgically basically treat it that way, or have physical therapy, and then when they fail, then we're going to surgically treat it. So I show you the guidelines, and more than just chiropractic guidelines, but the chiropractic guidelines that I show you are the simplest, and they're the most powerful guidelines in the world. We should be incredibly proud of what we've accomplished as a profession. And the only reason we're not is we're not aligned. Somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that, somebody's arguing about this, somebody's arguing about that.
Right.
And we're not aligned because the validation of the market to us couldn't have validated us better. It's just you don't know what to look at. So I've organized this stuff, which took hundreds of hours to go through. I mean, who's going to sit there and really try to understand the Nexus X-ray guidelines? No one's going to go, yeah, sign me up. So that's the part that I do. And in doing that and doing that training, I'm showing you a niche within the healthcare market that is the largest market. I'm preparing you to actually see it so that as you start to see it, you're going, oh my God, you don't have a clinic large enough. Once you understand this market, you do not have a clinic large enough to meet the local need. It's just you don't know how to address that. First of all, know what market I'm talking about, and then access it, and then systematically attract these people into your practices. So the second part of our program is internal marketing, right? So most clinics you'll spend all this time, I did too. You're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy. If you're going to work 2,000 hours a year and go 30 years in chiropractic, you're going to spend 60,000 hours of your life growing this practice. A lot of us are going to spend 90, 120,000. I definitely wasn't a 40-hour-a-week guy. And so if you want to attract injury patients, you already have this asset called your clinic that you already have people coming into. But none of you, or the majority of you, do not look like an injury center. Your patients don't even know you do injury work. Now, it's the most lucrative work. And remember, on the injury side, here's what I loved about the injury side, Tristan. Like, I was a shy guy, believe it or not. And I didn't really like asking people for money. I didn't like financial consults. I didn't like saying, okay, your insurance coverage is now $5,000 deductible and you need $2,500 worth of care, so none of it's paid.
Right.
Like your husband needs the same amount, so it's going to be $5,000, but you're still not covered, so
Right.
it's all going to be cash. And I did them, and I got very good at it. In the injury side, you don't have those financial calls. So you're not putting any burden on the person, and you get to do whatever you need to do to get great patient results. And you get paid well to do it. I was like, wow, sign me up. This is good. Now, when you start to make your clinic look more like an injury clinic, and there's other procedures, then these are the types of things that start to happen.
I've got posters up now on personal injury. So I'm doing some internal marketing, and that, since I started that, we've probably gotten 12 new patients for personal injury pretty quick.
Good. So that's the internal.
I've got
You start to get your clinic to look like an injury center because you already have, think of your clinic as a little bit of like a mini billboard. You already have people passing by into your rooms and everything else.
Right.
So when we go to the external marketing, right, that's another system that I help you to put in place. On the external marketing, my job is to show you how to get these people in your door. Your job is to get great results with them. Now, I can show you, once you understand this market and what you can do in this niche, like getting in new patients, the easiest thing in the world, because you are in, whether you understand this or not, if you're a chiropractor listening, and some of this probably makes sense to you, you are in the failed patient market. Okay, patients don't come to you when they don't have a problem. I've never had anybody come in and say, hey, Dr. Kronk, I heard chiropractic was great for wellness, and I want to sign up once a month, and I'd like to come in once a month for my life, and I want to avoid things because I've read the philosophy, and I know that you're basically healed above, down, inside out, and I love the philosophy, and I want to start care. They don't start there. You build a bridge to get them there, but they don't start there. Where they start is they come in with some sort of a either active acute injury on the trauma side or a chronic condition that's caused by an old injury. So when you understand that, and then you understand the numbers of people that need your help. So let's just take headaches. The American Headache Society says every fourth house you're going to pass by today has a chronic migraine headache sufferer in it. Now, the last time I was in any chiropractor's office and said headaches, they're like, yeah, that's easy. I get great results with headaches. If I go to chiropractic results and I look at headaches, your doctors are going to go, yeah, we get great results with headaches. Okay, well, every fourth household has a chronic patient that's dying for your services. So once I understood this stuff, Tristan, then new patients weren't really an issue. So, yeah, go ahead.
That wasn't me. I think that was your video.
Okay. Yeah,
sorry.
It could have been. Sorry. So on the external, what we do is we help you with your organic, not paid. Okay. When you come into a program like mine, you have all you need. You have all the equipment you need. You don't need to spend any more money marketing or anything else. Everything I'm going to show you, you do organically. Now, I have providers, once they understand how to do it organically, bump it up, and they throw some money at it. Eventually, they hire a person to do the marketing for them and various things like that. But at first, most people, let's just take the name, Tristan, of a clinic. Let's say I name my clinic Kronk Chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great, but it doesn't tell anybody anything.
Right.
It says that maybe the chiropractic clinic, it must be Kronk, who's the doctor, maybe.
Yeah.
And chiropractic, I don't know what that is. Right? So if I said Kronk Chiropractic Spinal Injury and Chronic Rehab Center, Chronic Pain Rehab Center.
Clear definition.
Yeah, somebody's going to be able to see that and go, if I go out to the social media post, you'd be surprised, and doctors, if you have this, don't introvert, but a provider will come in from Iowa, say, I can think of one, who want to do more injury work, and on their Facebook page, and their pages, their community's hunters, so they're standing over 4 dead pheasants. And it's like, all right, you might want to put some injury stuff up there because this is a billboard, and that no one's, they're gonna do, okay, he likes to hunt pheasants, but what does that have to do with the condition I want help with? So we help them with their social media, and we provide about over 300 pieces of marketing pieces, videos and static pieces that and this is before AI and all ChatGPT and all that stuff. So today it's even easier to bring this stuff out to show you what's unique in the market. We have a $35,000 animation video that I paid for to show attorneys what the actual injuries look like. So that leads us into, yes, we help on the market, on the social media side. It's important because that's what people look at. If I take this doctor, he came in, this was during COVID, he was all cash and he was struggling. He's doing about 500 patient visits in cash. He was struggling. And this is him just using our videos.
Long story short, I've been posting twice a day on Facebook videos, stills, and I can tell you I have this week already 2 direct PI cases that came from the videos. Long story short.
Good. So that's on the video side. Now, I also teach you how to do presentations, how to go out and present to attorneys, how to present to medical doctors or surgeons or your Kiwanis club or your church or your family and a family, wherever there's somebody gathered.
Right.
And you want to explain some things. Now, what I'm really good at is doing a presentation. Nobody comes out and tells you, no chiropractor on this call goes, I'm having a hell of a time. I can't keep a front desk. And you don't go in an attorney presentation and say, or when an attorney comes to your office and says, hey, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my law practice. You don't start with, we're having a hell of a time hiring people. We can't keep anybody. You don't tell people your problems. You don't want them to know what you're struggling with. You want them to know what you're not struggling with. Attorneys are the same. They don't tell you what their problems are. So you have to understand, somebody has to guide you or know what their problems are so that when you're doing a presentation, you can solve their problems. And I can guarantee you the presentation of we're going to increase claim value. Hey, we're going to be great. This is what drives me crazy in the market. Chiropractors running around saying, hey, we're going to increase your claim value. We're going to increase your claim value. That is the most ridiculous way to approach an attorney, and it doesn't work. It commoditizes you. All you're saying is, I'm going to take a 50% reduction in my bill because I'm a commodity. You are acting like a commodity. How you approach the market will attract what you want, and it'll repel what you don't want. So right now, if you're having a lot of situations in your practice, let's say you don't collect your full amount. Well, it's in your approach and it's also in your workup. So, Tristan and I have providers that come in that are taking 60 cents on the dollar, say.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit there and say, okay, geez, you're doing $1 million. You're taking 60 cents on the dollar. There's 400,000 to recover right here. Like, let me show you how to recover. You're going to gain 400,000 and you don't even have to grow your practice. Right? So it's not as complicated as people think. And when you're doing presentations, this is Carroll, Iowa. This is a town of 20,000. This is a doctor that's seeing probably 180, and I don't mean to use visits, but sometimes people can use visits to kind of get a size or feel of the practice. He's doing about 180 visits a week, but he's not doing any injury work, 1 or 2 cases a year, and they just happen to come in, and he's been there for a while. So this is what he has to say.
I'll just share my quick little testimonial. I went from having 1 or 2 PIs a year to I've had 9 this month. I have another attorney presentation tomorrow. Never would have happened without Smart Injury. Dr. Cronk's attorney presentation.
Walking them through. Here's another doctor. This doctor, when they first started with our program, they were seeing 40 new injury patients a month. They're seeing 80 now, about. But what he's talking about here, and I could go an hour on just what some of the stuff that he's gone through and the successes that he's had. But since I'm talking about presentations, he's in Baton Rouge and he's asked by the largest law firm in Louisiana to speak.
We work with a lot of attorneys, the largest firms in Baton Rouge to the smallest. And what a lot of people don't realize is the second largest personal injury firm in the country is in New Orleans. And at the end of 25 in November, I was invited to do a seminar on the topic we're talking about to their attorneys in New Orleans. So it was
my first lots of my attorneys, lots of my doctors now are getting invited to speak at various places because
that's badass, dude.
Yeah, so it's just it gets pretty darn easy. Now, so go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Nope, that wasn't me.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. So it's probably my slide deck. So the fourth component is follow-up, right? And follow-up is easier than you think, but it's something that no one does, and it's something that all of us need to do better. I'm probably, if I were to grade myself on follow-up, I'd say I'm a 50 out of 100. And I think we do a pretty good job.
Why I got to ask, why 50 out of 100, dude? Why do you score yourself that way?
Well, because you can always set up better systems. You can always follow up better. There's no, for me, I say at 50 so that I feel like I need to continuously improve it. Because your sales and your contacts and your referral relationships are in the follow-up. I can take the greatest sales training in the world, and they're going to tell me 2% of the sales are on the first contact, 3 on the second, 5 on the third, 10 on the fourth, 80% 5th through the 12th. Most people maybe make a second attempt, right? So that's one of the things that we also show you is I show you how to systemize your follow-up. Now, when I'm saying systemize your follow-up, this whole portion of this program is an hour training. You got to implement it, but it's only an hour training. It's not a long training. By the time you get to this step in our program and this part of our system, you're already you got 6 hours of clinical training. The internal marketing is like an hour and a half. The external, because I got to show you how to do attorney presentations and I have to show you doing the presentations. That's a couple of hours. And then this is about an hour. So this is one of the providers.
We're keeping track of everything we're doing. And basically it's just relationship marketing. We're building relationships and just sustaining them. I still, to this day, I'll just randomly get a call from an attorney that I maybe met. I sent them tons of info month after month. We think they're not interested. And then one day, bam, they send us a case. And then we make sure after every time we do a case the first time, I do a follow-up meeting. I show them exactly how we do the documentation. I show them their client's injuries, the significance, and really build that value.
Now, when you understand what you're after, I'm going to play this one too, even though it's a little out of context. When you understand what problems you solve, you could follow up with the pain management specialist, and this might be a result.
So the pain management doctors we work with don't just do personal injury. Chronic pain is a huge market, and for a lot of those docs, they don't have the answers for those patients. And the patients come to them saying, hey, I'm tired of taking the medication. The surgeon can't help me. You can't help me. What is there left? Well, now that they understand the testing and how that type of injury can cause those symptoms, we're getting the referrals from the pain management doctors for non-injury patients, for their chronic pain patients that are tired of taking pain medication. So it's been extremely beneficial in that realm as well.
Yeah, that's extremely lucrative now for them. But that's because he understands the problem he solves for the pain management specialist, and the pain management specialist wants his problem solved. So if you have a problem and somebody can solve it, you love them. Right? So, but you have to understand what problems you're solving, and then, you have to follow up. So we teach you how to do that. So that's 4 parts. We add one more. I don't know anybody that succeeds without a coach. Not really succeeds. Pretty much every successful person that I've been involved with, and I myself have used many mentors, usually has a coach or somebody that's helping to guide them. Tristan, a lot of doctors will say, well, I don't have enough time or I don't have enough money. Well, that's because you're wasting time, lots of it, and it's costing you a fortune. So you want to be, I don't care what you're trying to do. If you're, if you're technique wise, you're trying to get better results, fine. Get with somebody that gets great results and then shadow them, learn from them. So what we did is we added an hour coaching session per week, which is like coming to the gym. Every Tuesday, 1 o'clock Eastern time, you're going to come to the gym. First Tuesday is on clinical. Second Tuesday's internal market. Third Tuesday's external marketing. Fourth Tuesday's follow-up. And if there's a 5th Tuesday, which 4 months of the year there are, I do deposition training. Deposition training is some of the funnest, easiest stuff I do. But what it does is it shows exactly how powerful the clinical training is. Because, so when I said I'm deposition training you here, I am. But until you're in a deposition, now it's better to practice depositions before you're in the game. It's not great to, be in the basketball game. I play basketball. Basketball games are not won in the game; they're won in practice. So you don't want to figure something out in the game. You want to do it. You want to have figured it out before you're ever in the game. Depositions are the easiest game you're going to get involved with. And they can be very, very lucrative. They can be lucrative if you want to get into the med legal aspect of it and get paid as an expert, or they can be very lucrative for referrals.
Okay.
So that's, what we're doing when I added the coaching, Tristan. So I built this out first and I thought, oh, doctors will know exactly what to do. And I realized they didn't know how to bring it into their clinic. So then I built this out. And I thought, okay, now they'll know how to, not only will they know how to put it in their clinic, but they'll know how to go out to attorneys and do presentations and everything else. And I was like, wow, they don't know how to do that. So then I built this part. And I was like, well, they know how to follow up. you got to follow up. I mean, you don't do your
Right.
first date with your wife and go,
Right.
I'm not following up. I mean, if you're smart, you're still following up. So, you know, that's how this originated, these 4 parts. And
That was good, man.
we put it into a system. We add a deposition training component to it because I know all doctors, if you start to get some good exposure in the injury market, you're going to do depositions. And a lot of doctors worry about depositions. They're easy. I'm not going to tell you you're not going to be a little, you know, your stomach's not going to feel a little weird or whatnot. You're not going to be nervous about it. That would be lying, right? But the more prepared you are. I mean, I remember my first one. It was in a building in Bellevue, Washington. This 36 floor, 40 floor, you know, mirror glass window building. And I'm going up to like the 32nd floor and I'm rubbing my hand on my pant leg the whole way up. So my
Right.
first and probably only handshake is dry.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I've experienced it and I understand it. So we prepare you for that.
My
And-
first case settled, and it settled.
It allows you to, if you want to, or it allows you to get better results. So I'll just play a couple here.
You know, I was afraid of depositions until I looked at your course, and there's nuance to it, which is why you need somebody to guide you through it. But it's not as scary as I thought once I had someone to lead me through it.
My first case settled, and it settled for $370,000.
Okay, and that was your first one where you did testimony on ligament damage.
That's correct.
So yeah, no x-rays. 6 months later, we took just those lateral flexion ones, and we ended up settling the thing for policy limits.
And it is physically impossible to have a brain whiplash without there being a cervical whiplash. We had x-rays.
So I could play these and you'll hear them and you'll hear,
Did that guy say $370,000?
oh, let me play the rest.
I did the assessment, the computerized assessment and valuation, and we settled that case for about 10 times what the offer was before.
That one's that one's up for $60,000. Now that would have been, if you didn't do all this, then that would have been a $15,000 case.
What?
Listen to this.
It's using the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years and then being able to apply the stuff with this program to increase my financial knowledge base to get paid for what I'm worth instead of what people say you're worth or what, you know, you may think you're worth. I know what I'm worth now. And the attorneys know what I'm worth because the cases that I've been involved with that have gone over $1 million, they didn't have to go to court. The defense questioned me. I showed them the data. I answered their questions and I found out, hey, we mediated out and we got what we wanted.
Good. So those are in cases, just for the doctors that are listening, those are in cases that he's just being hired as an expert to help salvage the case and explain what the real situation is with the patient.
Gotcha.
Right. So one thing I'll say to everybody on the call is I don't care about settlement numbers.
Okay.
Settlement numbers, the doctor's job is to reduce settlement need. So if the patient comes into your office, I'll make it dramatically clear for everybody on the call. If the patient comes into your office in a wheelchair because for 6 months they've been, inappropriately, or maybe the care they were receiving was not really good, they were in an auto accident, nobody can figure out really what's causing them to not be in that wheelchair. They're in your office 6 months later, they're running a 10K run. Not only are they not in the wheelchair, but they feel great.
Right.
Well, you've destroyed the claim value. Now that's exactly what you're supposed to do. And you can do that. You can do that and be the highest paid doctor in your market and have more attorney referrals than you know what to do with. Okay, so it's a myth. That's why I say when people are running around going, well, we increase claim value. These numbers are impressive. I could give you 6 million is one of our providers in our program got a $6 million jury verdict. And he was the lead testifying expert. So, that's just another area when I say you could, expand off into that. When you come into our program, this is an AI generated picture. I just used it in here.
Yeah. Don't hate on the stethoscope, people. No.
Yeah. This is totally.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
Yeah. So it's just to show we have a community. This is the graphical image of a community. We have a community, and our community is really solid. We help each other out. We don't bitch and moan. We don't complain. We find solutions. We realize that problems are definitely opportunities. And when people have problems, that's exactly what you want to be. You want to be a solution to, whether it's the attorney, the pain management specialist, the orthopedist, the insurer, even the insurer. For you doctors that haven't been around me, you are the best thing for the insurance company that the insurance company has, if you can get good results.
Right.
So you're good for everybody in the market if you have somebody that's guiding you through it. In our program, we have 100% money back guarantee. So when I originally did that reel, I had a doctor that said, hey, yeah, it was 100 times my investment is what I got back.
Wow.
Okay. So I have a offer that I make to providers, and I'll show you how you can get involved with that if you wanted to, where we guarantee your results. I guarantee your results. I don't take everybody. Like, you have to be a match for me and I have to be a match for you. No one wants to work with somebody where it's not going to work. When I say I'm going to show you how to attract patients that have high ability in your office right now, what you want to do is attract people that you go, oh, wow, I can help them, and you help them and they're easy. Like, you want to fill your clinic with people that are going to come, they're going to get results with you, and then they're going to refer others into your office, and you're going to retain them. So that's what I do also with the doctors. We have a discovery call. But if you don't triple your investment in the first year, I give you all your money back and I give you $1,000 back. And if you ask me how many times have I had to do that, none.
Nice.
None. Because if you do what I say to do, you're going to experience the same results. So on a program like this, on a program like this, Tristan, what I would love to do is just for your group or the people that are listening, you'll see the QR code. Just hit the QR code if you're interested, and you can get on a 60-minute discovery call, and I'll show you our program. I'll talk to you about what we do. Now, this is if you're interested, right? Like, if you're just kind of tire kicker and you're not really that interested, probably this isn't right for you, right? What I'm looking for is providers that really want to excel in patient care, treat a lot more people, and treat higher dollar patient mix, add a higher dollar patient mix, and do it with a great deal of ethics, right? Do a really good job with these people. And it's incredibly lucrative. I mean, the injury patient sometimes generates 2 to 5 times, 2 to 10 times, depending on the clinic revenue of other patients.
Right.
So you hit that QR code, there's a 60-minute discovery call. You can always go out to smartinjurydoctors.com. You can look at our site, or you can email me at drcronk@smartinjurydoctors.com and say, hey, I want a link. I want to find out more. I'd like a copy of your free copy of your book. The reason why I do the book, and the reason why we have a number of different resources, is so that you can get to know me, when you're picking a coach, on some of these providers, some of our providers have easily increased by 7 figures. And so, when they do that, it makes a significant change in their life. But when you're trying to choose somebody to work with, you should find out about them, find out what are their results, get a feel for them. So that's what I like to do, Tristan, is just get on with the doctor and get a feel for them to make sure I'm a match for them and they would be a match for me.
Absolutely.
So that we can kind of rock and roll. Because this is, once you systemize things with a system, and I know you're aware of this, a system allows ordinary people to do extraordinary things. A system will beat a great person every time. And the other thing is, if you're struggling, which we all do to some degree, if you're struggling with overwhelm, you're struggling with burnout, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I'm going to tell you right now, it's because you don't have a system and you're not working that system. So I'm going to finish with this, Tristan. After doing this for a lot of years, when people say, well, what is the biggest problem that chiropractors have in adding more injury work into their clinic, I say it's really easy. They don't know what to do.
Yep.
And if you don't know what to do, you're going to try to figure it out, ChatGPT it, Claude it, and, and go do all of these various things. And in doing that, you are going to waste an incredible amount of time. So for you time people out there that say, hey, I don't have a lot of time, it's just a big waste of time. I learned in my career that you want to find somebody that's already doing it and then just follow what they say to do. So Tristan, that's what I have. If you want, I can stop sharing. I don't know what you want me to do at this point.
No, I did. I for one, grateful, appreciative. Let me back this up with what you just said, that you're closing out on burnout, because that's a big thing for me with the Spiz. The numbers that your members were throwing out there, I think they should drop some jaws, because I know some people out there that are crazy about making $2,000 to $3,000 a case, and I would say that the biggest fix for burnout is getting paid what you're worth.
Yes.
And that's if anything, right, that I take away, the first takeaway is, if you want to get paid what you're worth and get paid what you're worth in spinal injuries between lawyers and other providers that you're going to help them with in this program, this is just a freaking no-brainer. So
yeah, and the other thing I'd say on that, Tristan, is it always helps to have some. So it's hard to build yourself up. It's hard for me to build myself up, right? It's hard for you to build yourself up. But it's easy if you have somebody that's helping to build you up, because they're building you up.
Agreed.
Do you understand? So it's kind of a weird thing. And the other thing I'll tell any doctor on this is, when you get on the call, you're going to find out that the cost of our program, I think, is the least expensive of any program in the market. I make it incredibly affordable for you to get involved with us. Now, you have some skin in the game, but because of what I'm saying, the typical member that applies what I'm saying starts to snowball, and the money that the investment that they spend is like, wow, damn glad I didn't give that money to the government.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say. Doctors, I definitely like working with doctors, so take advantage of it. Either hit the QR code or...
Hey, how do we get your book?
I'll send it to you. You can send it out to anybody you want.
I love to buy 20 to 25 books from you and give them out as gifts to some of my viewers too, and stuff like that. So
I'll send them to you. You don't have to buy them.
We'll get that. Hey, dude, it's all integrity of stuff like that. Highly encourage. Beyond interest, you should be understanding that this is a market right now that is also, we didn't touch on this, dude, but I mean, it's recession proof.
Totally. I mean, you don't have enough time to explain the whole
It's the
thing.
only thing that through COVID got right. I mean, do you want to say anything on that? Because
no, it's a great point. So, providers that had larger injury practices did not have the COVID downfall.
Yeah.
There just wasn't. Now, anybody that was in insurance,
there's guys that made more money during COVID.
That's correct. That's correct. That's totally.
And I'm saying this not to be the fear mongering twisty that I can be sometimes, but I'm a little concerned about the midterm elections. I'm a little concerned about the economy right now. I'm a little concerned about politics. But you don't have to concern yourself with that when you do smart things like this, like smart injury doctors.
Well, the other thing is what I touched upon. There is no financial burden to the patient. Remember, there's. If you're in the work comp market, there's no financial burden to the patient. If you're in the auto injury, there's no financial. So that's what makes it recession proof.
Yes. Well, no brainer, guys. Scan the QR code. I'll send the link out. If you're in email, click the links below. If you're on other platforms, it might be above. Thank you, dude, for doing this and going down the rabbit hole. I really, really appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, Tristan. I appreciate what you're doing. Chiropractic Results, we promote it to all of our providers. And I can, it's one of those things where you got to continually promote to get them to go, hey, just go in and get the offer.
Oh, your guys are great. I got some great guys from you that are just putting in some amazing outcomes, and I'm loving the data, dude. So it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're doing there.
Appreciate you too, bro. Hey, guys, jump on this. Get on a call. No tire kickers, like Dr. Kronk said, but if you really, really want to get into a recession-proof game, if you really, really want to fight the burnout burden that's plaguing this profession, if you want to get paid what you're worth, then trust me, I wrote this on Sunday. You guys are worth more, baby. Let's put it to use. Thanks so much, Dr. Kronk.
You're welcome, Tristan.
Bye.